Motorcycle Museum, and this is the Velvet Hammer. This, disguised as a mild-mannered GS550, inside this frame is a high-performance Yoshimura 610cc big bore engine. This was built by a gentleman obsessed with GS550s who spared no expense on the build of this bike. Completely dismantled the motor right down to the transmission, installed the 610cc Yoshi high compression big bore pistons, had the head sent out to Yoshimura, flow benched, imported. The carburetors are opened up with the full Yoshi jetting setup along with the velocity stacks. This is a very rare Yoshimura 4-in-1 exhaust, special ignition. The wheels were laced to lightweight aluminum rims that are off of a Suzuki GS1000. The original bodywork's in fantastic condition. Beautiful fairing on it, quarter bars. We've had some real nice 550s come through the shop here. The three nicest ones are owned by Jack Moser, a collector that is a benefactor of the museum, who bought all three and left two of them here on display. This would make a great addition to his collection, so if it's gone before it's listed on eBay, you'll know why. I'm going to highly recommend that Jack buy this bike. It's got the aftermarket oil cooler on there. It has a steering brace dampener on there. It has high quality S&W shocks, heavy duty fork springs, 6-speed transmission, and it's a GS550 on steroids. This thing's off the hook. Now flapping of the gums. It's going to rain out soon, so I want to take this for a quick rip before it starts raining and show you what she's got. Go. Absolutely the fastest 550 I've ever ridden. And keep in mind, I worked at New England Cycle Sales dealer here back in the 80s, so I've ridden a lot of these bikes. Nothing like this though. This is what a factory racer from Yoshi would have been riding back in the day. Well, that was fun, but I had to cut my ride a little short because it started drizzling out. So let me go over the specs again. Again, the bike was completely stripped right down to the frame. All extraneous gussets and parts were removed. The frame and swing arm were painted. The front fork tubes, the lowers, were buffed. The front disc was drilled to improve cooling and braking and to remove weight. Ferodo racing disc pads increased the braking under hard use, and light alloy rims from the 78 GS1000 were laced to stock hubs. Michelin B-rated low profile seats 425/85 rear and 315/19 front were balanced for high-speed smoothness. Suspension was improved by adding a set of 5022 Goki air caps to the front forks and SS1 STW street stroker shocks with DT 85 145-pound strength. They're dual spring shocks. The air caps should be running about 10 pounds. Racer supply steering dampener controls front end wobble, and GSM low bars were fitted with Magura dog levers and soft grab-on grips, and a Tracy fairing was installed. Has the custom mirrors. The rear sets are from Futura. It's a $450 set of rear sets that were installed on the bike, both on the shifter and brake side. That's about it for the running gear. The original paint's in beautiful condition. Again, this is a 41-year-old motorcycle, okay? And it's a classic, and it's been completely resto modified and gone through. The engine was completely disassembled by the previous owner and inspected for wear. The bottom end and transmission were found to be in good shape. The stock clutch was replaced with a Barnett SPZ copper plates, TMZ friction plates, and MTZ springs. The clutch was needed to handle the extra power of the Yoshimura engine. The cylinder head was sent to Yoshimura for porting to allow a better flow of gas into and out of the cylinders, and the stock gearbox was replaced by CIR cycle velocity stacks with replaceable foam filters. The engine, as I said earlier, was bored to 610 cc's and reassembled with 10.1 compression pistons. Copper head gaskets and heavy-duty SV 111 stage 1 cams were used to allow more top-end breathing and therefore horsepower, while still giving acceptable mid-range and normal street riding. A Yoshimura Black SV9982 exhaust system gives excellent corner clearance and rich tone and rounds out the full Yoshi package, from the intake to the carbs to the heads, to the pistons, to the exhaust. It's a full Yoshimura race engine. A Martech 440 electronic ignition and a Martech 880 capacitor discharge amplifier provides a hot, accurate spark to the high RPMs this engine can turn. To keep all of this cool, the Lockhart SB 800 oil cooler was installed. The engine is safe up to 10,000 RPMs as long as the jetting is correct. So when we got the bike, the previous owner had it sitting for a while, so we put a brand new battery in it, brand new spark plugs, rebuilt the petcock with a full petcock rebuild kit, drained out the tank, cleaned the tank, all new petcock components, and a brand new inline fuel filter, and a brand new set of EBC FA38 front brake pads. So that pretty much sums it up. The bike is really a unique piece. Ask yourself, when have you ever, let alone in 1977, 78, 79, when this was the hottest 550 on the market, even back then, the only place you'd see a bike like this would be on a national race circuit. Because the average consumer is not going to, you dump enough money into this bike, you could have bought a 750 for what you invested into the mods. And if you bought a bike like this to our restoration shop, said, Mr. Kaplan, remove the engine, bring it down to the frame, remove any extra components that don't belong on the bike, and hot rod it, lace new wheels to the hubs, modify the brakes, put the fairing on it, and build the motor, you're looking at realistically somewhere in a $6,000 to $8,000 service ticket here. You know, between the wheels, tires, chains and sprockets, brakes, the exhaust alone. If you can even find a Yoshi exhaust today, it's an $800 exhaust. The oil cooler is $300, and the headwork from Yoshi is extremely expensive. So this bike is really an anomaly. You're just not going to find another hot rod GS550 like this anywhere. It's a very rare piece. It's a 77, making this bike 41 years old. It is an antique, and most of them were just running into the ground. So to find one that was owned by a totally obsessed GS550 aficionado who knew that how to do all these things and could pull together the time and money required to do a frame-off customization on a bike like this is just ridiculous. So hopefully it goes to a good home, someone that appreciates it. I believe it's a museum piece. It's a piece of artwork. It should be on display in the museum, which is where it's going right now. Right after I finish this video, I'm rolling it in the museum. And we have a Cafe Racer show, August 25th. That's coming up. I'm putting this bike in the show for the 70s Cafe Racers, and I just love it. So, you know, it has the way it runs with the velocity stacks. You just can't cram on the throttle on this thing. If you would on a fuel injected or an airbox bike, you got to roll on the throttle because so much air goes in. But once you get going on the highway, you're doing 75, 85 miles an hour, and you click from 5th into 6th gear, and it starts catching up to itself. Man, this thing's just something else. The 6th gear is an overdrive on this for highway or high-speed racing application. The fairing looks like it just came out of the box, brand new. Check out the glass on the fairing, Kenny. This is like it's basically brand new condition, like it just came out of the box. There's not a scratch anywhere on it or anywhere on the fairing. The grips are Motion Pro, brand new Motion Pro grips. Again, it's got the Magura lever on here. The brakes are on point. This is 77, so they had drum brakes back then. The chain and sprocket are new. The battery's brand new. Just a fantastic bike. You'd like to add to it, Kevin?
Yeah, we can get the bike shipped very affordably. Figure 500 or less East Coast, 600 or less West Coast. Contact me for a quote. Ask for Ken Jr. at 860-454-7024, or leave a message if I'm not available.
Going back to the museum, we're going to put her on display, so she'll be rolled out in detail for the August 25th Cafe show. This next time she'll be out, so good luck bidding and don't miss the show. God bless America.